Welcome to Parentville, where we share our stories as parents and children to help build strong families and communities. My name is Uma, and I'm the host of Parentville. My guest today is my dear friend Rajeshwari. We've been friends from our medical school days. She's a pediatrician. Of course, we love talking about kids. In this segment, we talk about what many of us enjoy, eating together as a family.
I've always felt that meal times, dinner times are really a good time to connect with your kids, no matter what age they are. One rule we've always had is when you're sitting with slightly older kids, you're not going to talk about academics. You're not going to say, okay, Sunil, what was your grade for this? So it's a big no at dinner time. Don't stress them out. Meal time is just to relax and chat, and get a peep into what is going on in their lives, with their friend circle. And both our families, my husband and I, we've had food is a very important bringing together kind of an event in our house. It's not like you come to the kitchen, you take your food, go to the bedroom, another one takes food, go. Food is not to be eaten in the bedroom. Meal times are in the kitchen with everybody together, siblings and all that, unless there's really pressing thing like some activities. So I was just like, there's no excuse. You all have to plan and make sure that you all say, okay, this time we are all going to meet here and we are going to eat. Even if it is food that you're ordering from outside, put it on the table and then sit and eat and chat. I encouraged parents a lot to do that. So I was telling moms that even if you are working through in the evenings, just put everything and hold for 1 hour. Nothing is going to happen. Right. Even if your child says, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat, just have them come sit at the table. Exactly. That's fine. As older, just to have a conversation, I think that's important. Even from my childhood, it was a big thing. My parents, though they were both working physicians, evenings, everybody was home. Fortunately, they were in specialties that they didn't have to rush for a emergency surgery or anything like that. Yes. So 8:30 was our time where we all gathered. We sat at the table. We sat at the big dining table. It was a big process, chatting, talking, like we said, discussing politics or funny shows we watched, or whatever we enjoyed. So there's a lot of chatting, talking. And then
that reminds me, you said that in India, when you were growing up, mealtime was 8:30. Yes. I know in US, meal times are definitely a lot earlier.
Yes, earlier. And I learned that I don't think that's the best, but with the lifestyles at that point, that's how it worked out.
How about here in your house now?
Now it's earlier. It is 7, 6:30 to 7. We start getting things ready. 7, we shoot for before 7 for sure.
Right.
Because you want to have an early start. But back home, yes, that's, and I see that with a lot of our Indian patients where then I have to say with school and everything, you need to move the time.
Move it up a little.
Yeah. Move it up a little bit. Correct.
But not only eating together is a good bonding time. We can have a lot of bonding time, even preparing for the eating time, preparing to eat, with all the food prep, starting with probably even shopping for items, making a menu to begin with.
Exactly. That's what we would do with that purple carrot that I told you. Right. We had some options. So then at 5:30, I would be asking Riti, okay, so which one do you want to make? And then, okay, this one. Then I'll get it from the refrigerator. And it comes all packaged, all together in one. So then open that. And then I said, okay, I'm going to start chopping, getting everything ready. And then as we're doing that, we're chatting, talking about her friends or what's happening and things like that. And then Neil comes and he has a certain thing. He has it to the T. So he has to measure everything, how much he's putting. So he would have his stuff going on. And then, Madhu has his thing. So it was a lot of activity in the kitchen for that 1.5 hours.
Of course, there are a lot of good things about eating together. But I'm wondering if you have any examples of any kind of unpleasant experiences or how it was handled.
Yes. And that can happen sometimes,
of course.
One wrong thing said can trigger off somebody and then it goes down south. And that has happened. Absolutely. And then, as as the mother, you want everything to be nice and calm, and you don't want any friction or anything anywhere. But sometimes you can't help it. People come there, the kids come there with different mood. We come there with our different stress or work or what might be going on throughout the day, and all that gathers at the table. So sometimes sparks will fly. Sometimes you just say the wrong thing and it'll set off somebody who's too stressed about something. So yes, and when that happens, then you kind of just quietly finish the meal. Because then I will put my foot down and say no more, nothing at the dinner table, no more confrontation. Just finish your meals quietly. We're not going to talk. And then
try to minimize the sparks. The sparks will be there, but at least minimize.
Right. For the most part, kids know that anything controversial, anything that's going to set off should not be happening at mealtime. Because the other way I present to even the kids and others is, there is a lot of effort that goes in the food making, and you have to respect that. So when I talk to kids about, looking at their cell phones and eating, or watching shows and eating, kids need to understand that cooking, especially any kind of food, Mediterranean, Italian, Mexican, American, there's a lot of effort that goes, unless you have ordered from, DoorDash, then it's easy.
That costs money.
That costs money. So there is effort.
So either way, it's a lot of hard work.
And that has to be respected. You have to comment, oh, this is good. Oh, that is good. So our kids are always very much in tune about saying, if somebody made something, oh, that tastes good. What did you do? The recipe is good. So, Madhu, my husband, is always particular about saying this curry, oh, this came out really well today, even though it may be just a simple curry or whatever. So
that reminds me, one of our friends, every single time when he comes over, or even when we go over and eat, even in their own house, he will always at the meal, he will say, Annadata Sukhi Bhava. It is just such a nice saying, meaning, whoever prepared the meal, bless their heart.
Because making food is an act of love, and whoever you're making it for. And that's how the person who prepares should be doing it. And that's how the people who are eating should be doing it. So it has to be given that due respect. And that's what I try to sell the idea like that. Your mom has put in so much effort to do this. You can't sit at the table and look at your cell phone and eat like this and then push the plate and leave the table. That doesn't happen. You have to give the food its due respect that it needs, So I think, and as parents, we have to, not only this, another topic about mealtime, like you said, Uma, that sets a tone about how you present yourself outside in your society. Whatever, you always say the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So whatever you're talking about, whatever tone you're setting in terms of any political issue also, that's what the kids carry outside in the world. And so
or any family values.
Exactly. So that's the time to say that if you notice somebody doing something a certain way and you say, oh, that, it's a learning, it's a teaching point. It's not to say that that person is bad or anything like that, but this is how I think it should be done, So those type of discussions always in our house happen around dinner time, where we talk about, oh, this should have been like this, or that person said this, or this person did something so good. That's really so nice. I think your values, like you said, all your family values too, how you view people, how you talk about people, whatever you as parents do, I think the kids get that tone exactly.
And even how we handle, some disagreements or arguments.
All that gets carried
That's
away.
all learned right there.
Right there, because in today's day and age, where everybody's running in so many different directions for work or then activities, soccer practice, violin practice, this, that's the only time you are actually gathering together and interacting. So I really cannot emphasize how important that time is, teaching time also, and enjoying your kids too.
That's I'm glad you said that. I think it's all about enjoyment and just enjoying the togetherness and being there.
Yeah.
And I'm almost certain, eating together and that togetherness releases a lot of endorphins.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
So we all look forward to it. We all look forward to getting together whenever we can. Our oldest daughter joins us, and it's always about food. Like my son-in-law and daughter were there a couple of days ago, and I like to cook for them. So I made these really nice chole bhature, and they both enjoyed eating that. So
how you said your older daughter, she joins. Same, even when our kids grow up, I'm almost certain they would carry these tradition or this particular tradition forward, that they would have family meals too.
They might have some things that they will change.
Oh, of course.
Do that, and Thanksgiving, for instance, it's not an Indian festival or anything, but right from when the kids were little, we have really taken to it only, again, the same thing, meals and sitting together. So right from when our kids were little, Thanksgiving is the time we have very standard recipes, and all our kids do the whole cooking together. Neil is in charge of setting the table. He used to even put names, on the table, who's going to sit where. And we would enjoy an early dinner, early Thanksgiving dinner. But Thanksgiving is like our favorite festival. Same thing again, cooking together and eating together. So
I'm curious, besides Thanksgiving, how about for regular everyday family meals? Do you have assigned spots? Not assigned like somebody assigned them, but everybody has their spots.
Yes,
you don't change them.
They don't change at all. Oh, no, not at all. Everybody has their spot. When Meghna's not there, I have a certain spot. When Meghna's home, I move. So the mom is the only one moves a little bit when her older daughter is home, but everybody else's spots are fixed at the table.
I think there's some comfort in
routines,
in the routine itself, and knowing where you're going to sit, what you're going to eat, just having that all set, as opposed to every meal trying to figure out which spot, what plate, things like that.
Yes. Right from when they were little, it's the same spot, and everybody sits exactly in the same spot.
I always get some good ideas from talking to Rajeshwari because of her reality-based and practical approach to things, and hope you felt the same way. In the next episode, join us for more of the interesting conversation with my artist friend Deanna on encouraging creativity in children. Feel free to leave your comments below. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. If you're similarly interested in sharing your stories on Parentville, please email us at ourparentville@gmail.com. Thank you.